Hey guys, Heike Yates here, and it's Tuesday, and I have to admit, I did double book myself. So I have an appointment at 2 o'clock, and I can't be with you live today. However, I will not miss our Tuesdays because they're super important to me, and I hope important to you too. So, tomorrow is Valentine's, but I'm not going to talk about Valentine's. I want to talk about something that came up today again. And it's to say no. Why is it so hard to say no? You know what? Men don't seem to have a problem with saying no. They just go, no, no thanks, I'm fine. Women tend to have a tendency to explain why we say no. Here's a quick story. I was working with a mentor for my Pursue the Spark brand, learning all the skills that you need to take your knowledge and coach and teach and entertain people. And it was time for me to move on. And I had a pit in my stomach. I wasn't sure how I was going to tell him that I had to break up with him. Yep, you heard me right, to break up with him. I had knots, I was sweaty, I rehearsed in my head what I would say and how I would say it, and what excuses would I have, or not excuses, explanations of why I would stop the course. And in my mind, it was very clear, it was time for me to stop the course. I would hate to miss his guidance and the people that were in my mastermind. A mastermind is a group of people that frequently get together and work on a project, each at their own pace, but we're giving each other feedback and helping each other out. So fun, and amazing group of people I was in. But I was ready to move on and write my own story, write my own way, and follow my own path with that. So I had to tell him I break up with him. And I really did that. I was on a Zoom call with him, so I actually had to look at him. I couldn't just be on the phone and go, oh my goodness. No, I had to look him in the eye and say, I'm breaking up with you. I just didn't know how to start the sentence. And he was just like a guy would do, say, okay, what are you going to do next? It was not like, oh my God, stab, you're breaking up with me, and now I'm hurt, and the planet will turn upside down. He was totally, it's a business. I get it. You got what you needed, and now it's time for you to follow your own path. So if you need me, if you want me to coach you, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do, and come back anytime you need us. Gotta tell you, I was like, what a relief, what a release. I didn't have to explain myself. I didn't have to say why exactly I wasn't continuing and come up with some cockadoodle, is that a word? I'm sure, cockadoodle story that excused me from not following through. And it is actually that easy to say no and not explain yourself. You don't have to. No, thank you. I just had a conversation about a similar situation with my client, and it was about taking on a educational course that you really, really wanted to take. And if you listen to this, you know who you are. But her plate's already full. She's going to school full time. She's already overstretched, has kids. But she really, really wanted to work with this person. And the person had given her videos and introduced her to her method of teaching. And so my client said, I really want to take this course. And I said, but you don't have time. You don't have the resources, financial resources to do that right now. And you're stretched to the max as it is. Will this person be there in another year? Or will she disappear into thin air and you will never be able to work with her again? And she says, no, the course will be offered once a year. And so there's the answer. She can take the course in a year again. And she said, but what do I tell her? And she was in a similar boat, and I just told her the story I told you guys. And she said, "Did you really say I'm breaking up with you?" And I said, "Sure did. It felt to me like that." So when you say no, you don't have to explain why. Just say no, thank you, maybe some other time. You don't need to come up with a story to explain your reasons. And nobody will hold you hostage or be mean to you. If they are, then you didn't want to work with them in the first place, or didn't want to do things for them because you said no. So think about 2 or 3 things that you said yes to just because, and you rather wanted to say no to but didn't. Just 2 or 3. Think about those. And then think about how would you have felt saying no instead. Instead of saying yes to something you really didn't want to do, you didn't say no because you didn't have the courage maybe, or the guts to say no. So think about these. Just let it simmer for a moment. If you would have said no, would you have felt guilty? I think most of us feel guilty when we say no, because why shouldn't we do it? Why should we say no? It's just taken out on our own back and the other people will be happy. Or is it about people pleasing? Could be about that you are a people pleaser, that you want everybody to like you, and so you're bending over backwards for things that you really didn't want to do. Guilt is a big one, and so is people pleasing. Stop it. Take it one step at a time. Make that list of 2 to 3 items that you said yes to and you'd rather said no to. Write down how you felt, or how you would feel if you'd said no. And I bet you'd feel liberated. What is it called? A rock fell off your heart, or, you just feel relieved. I know I'm mixing things up with English and German, but you are the master of your own path. Choose it without guilt, without overwhelm, and without pleasing people, because my mechanic says, and this is a funny one, the only person that I'm pleasing today is myself. It's not your turn. So put yourself first, and let me know if I can answer any questions. Let me know if you have any comments. If you'd like to contribute to my story, or simply say, no, maybe next time. But with that in mind, love you guys. See you next time, Tuesday at 2, live. Ciao.